Oi, welcome back! Norosky intended to murder Detective Goodman. That's why she called the victim all the way to the prosecutor's office. I'm sure the chief prosecutor had a grudge against the victim. Nothing else could drive that human machine to plunge the knife in again, and 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 again!
Should I destroy this testimony immediately? You know, the fact that it was one knife stab.
Well, that'll save us some time, but
to the stomach?
I'm pressing everything.
The victim was summoned from the police department to the prosecutor's office. It does sound a lot like premeditation, doesn't it?
So, if I order a pizza, does that mean I'm planning to kill the delivery boy?
In any case... Shit! The defense may now cross-examine the witness.
Got a point.
And again, and again!
This isn't the spoon killer!
Well, let's go.
You hit him with the spoon.
Again, and again, and again,
and again, and again.
You said that, but you haven't told us how you know.
That's what I'm about to tell you, rookie.
I believe what she just said was a mere prelude to the story she's about to tell.
Judge, why are you falling for her so hard?
He's a simp.
Both lawyers do not like her. But you do?
He's got like a fucking brain in his
brain.
He's got like a worm in his brain.
He's got a brain in his brain. How do you get that there? Even Edgeworth was like, don't tell us about what you thought it was. Tell us what you saw. And she immediately starts with, well, I think it's premeditated. Shut up. If I was the lawyer, I would have said, stop. What you saw, not what you thought. Strike it from the record. It's not usable.
Try not to interrupt her again.
Rookie. Never interrupt the storyteller. It's like pulling a bun out of the oven half-baked.
Something half-baked here, all right, and it's you.
Try not to confuse the defense witness. They're not very quick on their feet. Now, why did you believe the suspect had intentions to murder the victim? Your actions speak for themselves.
God, she's turning into Smeek.
That's why she called the victim all the way to the prosecutor's office.
You have no proof that Miss Sky called him there.
You have no proof that she didn't.
Mr. Edgeworth, thoughts?
There is no record of a call made on the defendant, Miss Lana Sky's phone. She might have written him a letter.
There's no proof of a letter being sent to his office.
Hmm?
Come on. Could have tried public phone first at least.
In any case, the victim came to the prosecutor's office where he was murdered.
I'm sure he had a reason to be there. Witness! Why do you think it was the suspect who was summoned the victim that day?
I'm sure the chief prosecutor had a grudge against the victim.
Kind of grudge.
Well, the band. A band grudge. Grunge band. Grudge band. Grunge band.
Grudge is not a style of music.
Well, I wouldn't know that.
Grunge is. Grudge is a horror.
Grudge is also. Grudge is basically heavy metal.
Grudge. Hey, what music do you guys play? Grudge?
Yeah.
It's like a mixture of grunge and fudge.
I hate her!
Of course you don't. That's because she didn't have a grudge.
Rookie. I have a lunchbox here. Now, what's inside?
How am I supposed to know?
See? We agree there's a lunchbox here, but we don't know what's inside. A person's life is like a lunchbox with pretzels. Don't you agree?
I get it! That's why my lunch was so salty!
Judge isn't very good with metaphors.
Ah, the classic Schrodinger's lunchbox. My favorite kind of proverb, paradox, that's what they're called. The suspect had a grudge against Detective Goodman. Will you tell us your basis for thinking this? It's simple.
Not again.
Nothing else could drive that human machine to plunge the knife in it again, and again, and again!
A human machine? That's a contradiction.
Please.
It's a hyperbole. And
Can't you find fault with something of substance, Mr. Wright? But myself, Mr. Edgeworth's eyes smelled like citrus fruit. Hot.
Just, I would have preferred Mr. Edgeworth going, that's a hyperbole, actually. You say again and again. How many times did she stab him?
Again and again. We often say chop it to 1,000 pieces, but we don't actually mean 1,000 pieces. What difference does it make that if the deed is done?
How come she's getting mad at me? It's weird. It's like he only got stabbed once.
Let's just say she stabbed him several times and leave it at that.
Leave it at that. This is a murder case, people.
Mr. Wright, you should speak up if you have an objection, you know?
Star has turned out to be as short-tempered as she looked when we met her. I'll be a suck-egg mule if I ain't seen someone that.
Rob Schneider stars in a movie.
Challenging her abilities as a detective really set her up.
The short wit burns out the fastest.
Rob
It's a
Schneider,
scientific fact.
Kevin James, Adam Sandler. I wonder, wouldn't it depend on the size of the candle? I mean, add more wax and even a really short wick will burn longer.
Shit! Obviously, more
Right.
scientific testing is required. Alright,
It's the knife.
Fuck!
It's the stab multiple times and the stab.
And again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and again,
And
and
it stabbed once! You say she stabbed him again and again and again
And again, and again, and
but you
again.
couldn't have witnessed that.
Are you testing me? Then I'll test you.
These
With my
are
master
tests.
prize! I'm afraid the moss is growing under our feet as we wait, Miss Star.
Whoa! That was a rough one. What do you mean?
I shouldn't have to explain this, but take a look. The autopsy report states that death was due to a loss of blood from one stab wound.
Aha! You're right. Good show, Mr. Edgeworth. I mean,
What a hunk! He's my hero, really.
I pointed it out! What about my objection? No one noticed? What? Wow, this game really makes you feel awful about yourself because everybody's like, what? I don't care about you. You're pointing them out? Ah, I don't care. They're cool.
well, witness.
You got the crown seat set, right?
Oh, thanks.
I always believed that no one could ever mistake ketchup for blood. But now I realize that such mistakes are possible.
Am I eating blood?
So, you're saying you mistook something for blood? When she lifted the knife, I thought I saw blood at her breast. Splattered blood from her victim!
Actually, that's just her boobs. Nice.
That's why I thought she must have stabbed them at least twice.
And tell us what you saw that you thought was blood. Testify, sister.
Her red muffler looked like blood to me. That's how ghastly the whole scene was.
She did have an injury on her hand.
Yes? I don't see how that has to do with anything.
That could be the red stain on her. Sure. I'm sure they'll tell us it's not, but that could be the red stain. You got a cut on her hand, bleeding. Her red muffler?
Yes, like a scarf. The chief prosecutor always wears one around her neck. So she can be easily hanged at a moment's notice, I suppose.
She's right. It is so they can be easily hanged at a moment's notice. This guy was wearing a red scarf, wasn't she? No, think back. She's in the courtroom. Look at her.
Oh, God. Oh, I guess we'll never know.
But wait.
Mr. Wright? Mr. God.
Isn't it odd that you mistook that for splattered blood?
Well, people often mistake my beard for a bib.
Judge with a bib. That's why this place feels so much like kindergarten sometimes.
Actually,
I mean, it is a beard,
I do think I saw some traces of blood on the chest.
which makes it a bib.
However, the autopsy report is clear on this matter. There was only one knife wound.
Apparently, Miss Star isn't entirely sure of her own testimony.
That's right! There's no chance!
Chance for what? Star has
yeah.
turned her. She's challenging. Add wax to a candle.
Alright, what am I doing? The red buffalo looked like blood to me, so she was wearing a red scarf. A red scarf. And it looked like blood. That's how we fucking, you know.
Show me the photo of her again. There's no scar.
Fuck! Oh, you missed your line. Your line was, Miss Store, I demand an explanation.
They kept talking about the red scarf and I was thinking, just see the photo of her. I'm sure I might see something there.
Your line is, Miss Star.
Miss Star, I demand an explanation.
Objection! The witness is clearly not suited for detective work. What? The suspect was not wearing a scarf or muffler of any kind when she stabbed the victim.
What the fuck is Edward
And you
doing?
proved it yourself.
Stop trying
with
to
this
show me
photograph.
up, Edward. This is my case.
Huh? But that can't be! Only a professional lunch lady could be so utterly clueless. Congratulations! Perhaps you finally found your true calling in life.
Harsh words, but good.
In the end, Mr. Edgeworth prevails.
What's my objection, Chop? Why?
It was there. A scarf. No, not that. Something red. Really? Well now, where were we? The witness has given us an entertaining interlude. Now back to business. What?
Very well. Witness, continue your testimony. You saw the crime and apprehended the suspect. Tell us about that.
Very well. I do remember some things accurately, at least.
Ultimately, we couldn't shake the most important part of her testimony.
The most important part.
Part where your sister stabs the victim. This next testimony might just be the moment of truth.
She stabbed him.
Damn it! Again.
Again and again.
Again.
After the murder, the suspect attempted to run behind a partition off to her side. I quickly caught her, explained her rights to her, and arrested her on the spot. Ah, yes. When I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused in my earlier testimony. The chief prosecutor made to escape, but against Angel Star, resistance is futile.
What need would she have to try and escape?
She just killed somebody.
Yeah, but she dropped her phone next to the car.
Yeah? But why wouldn't she want to escape?
And there's no proof around where she ran to that's where she ran to.
Okay, well, how? Okay, prove it then.
I don't have to prove it. You need proof to prove it. It should be the prosecutor's job to prove that's the direction she ran.
You're quite determined about this scarf, aren't you?
I struck like a snake and bite like a cobra. That's me, Angel Star.
Also, there was no scarf on the scene. There was no scarf anywhere. The scarf does not exist. That wasn't a very good metaphor. First of all, cobra is a kind of snake.
Don't bother me with details unless you want to get bitten.
No, thanks. I'm good.
Note to self, Mr. Wright is weak against poisonous snake bites.
So is everybody else.
The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside, kicked over an oil drum.
An oil drum? Hard to imagine a
Oh.
small person like that.
She's beautiful, but deadly. A predator, this one. A leopard woman. Wow.
Perry! Get out of here!
Very well, Mr. Wright. Your cross-examination, if you will.
Objection!
Mosquito.
That's the objection button.
After the murder, the suspect attempted to run behind a partition off to his side.
So where is this partition on the floor plans?
I'm sure she means this wall next to the car.
That's right. Yes.
Yes.
That's right.
That's right.
Good.
Yes.
There was a wall there about 6 feet high.
She was obviously trying to hide herself. Quite a natural thing for a criminal to do. And what did you do then? I quickly caught her, explained her rights to her, and arrested her on the spot.
You're not a cop.
You could do a citizen's arrest.
That means nothing. You know what a citizen's arrest is? I'm arresting you on a citizen's arrest. Don't move.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all you can do in a citizen's arrest. You said quickly. Were you close to the suspect?
As I just said, I was only 30 feet away from her the
There's
whole
a
time.
fence in between you.
Oh, might as well press it.
Because there's a fence in between you. I like to see this on the floor plans just to be safe.
Beep, beep, beep,
Which
beep,
lady
beep.
car was
Yeah,
here?
she was a visitor, thus she was parked in B block.
You witnessed the murder from here. That would make
it about 30 feet from the car, yes?
Is that correct, Miss Starr?
Yes, that's right.
But there is a chain link fence in front of you.
I went over it, of course.
Amazing! The cuff-up queen lunch lady athlete indeed!
It would have taken her a little time to climb over the fence, so she couldn't have gone into my sister that fast. Beep, 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 beep,
There's
beep.
a door. There's like so much shit. Yeah, that fence was about 9 feet high too. How did Miss Sky not get away?
Does that sound like someone climbing a fence? Yes, when I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler.
She mentioned the muffler? What exactly did she say about this?
Magic muffler.
If I remembered exactly, I would have told you in my testimony.
So you didn't find it important either? Interesting, like we are, not finding it important. Cheeky.
Cheeky!
Tuesday!
Anyway, I'm this character. All I heard her say was the word muffler.
Just that one word?
Is that one word?
True. What you heard wasn't the suspect talking to you, but to someone else. Yes, the chief prosecutor was talking on her phone.
Her phone. She can't mean. Ask further! My phone, do you mean this cell phone discovered at the crime scene?
Yes, ultimately.
That phone was found next to the car.
Ultimately, my memory... It's like a salmon, heading upstream, you see.
Not good.
No, the court doesn't see, Miss Starr.
The chief prosecutor first attempted to use the phone hanging on the wall.
On the wall.
So can I just tear this apart? Because first tried to use that when she called her sister immediately after the murder on her actual. That's right. Near the car, there was an emergency phone on the wall.
Apparently, it was out of order.
And so she used her cell phone.
Indeed, the emergency phone was out of order that day.
Good witnessing, witness. Hot to trot.
Good witnessing. Whatever happened to good testifying?
You should, of course, add this to your testimony.
The things I do to please this rookie defense attorney. There are a lot of stuff on the word muffler was overheard during a call made to Emma at 5:18. I saw it all. How she tried the phone on the wall but had to use her cell instead.
What?
What do you mean, what?
So in a matter of like 30 seconds, she climbed a 9-foot fence, ran around a half wall to see her on the phone.
So you're saying that she could not have seen her go to the...
She
the
couldn't
phone.
see her on the phone. There's not enough time!
Okay.
Because the murder was at, what was it, 5:15? Is that when the murder happened?
Yes. Well, within that time. We don't have the exact time. We just know that the call was made at 5:18.
It's still. Do you think you could restate your testimony for the court?
I was going to ask the same thing.
I only say this one time, so listen close, rookies.
I was here. She ran around there. I clearly saw her through that wall.
Oh, I forgot. I have X-ray vision. The chief prosecutor stabbed the victim that ran behind the partition. Then she picked up the emergency phone on the wall, but it was out of order. So she pulled out her own cell phone out of her own pocket, out of her own...
And in that time, I climbed this 9-foot-tall fence, and I was around the corner! Yeah.
Then, when I boldly grabbed her arm, the chief prosecutor hung up her phone.
And you saw her doing this.
What is it, Mr. Wright?
Not
The
Tim
chief prosecutor
Allen.
made
Get him out of here!
Angel story resisted is futile.
She made to escape. Can you be more specific?
She brushed aside my hand and ran. It was a terrible sight to see, like a dollop of blood on a pate of foie gras.
Foie gras?
Foie gras.
Foie gras? Huh?
She even kicked over an oil drum at me.
An oil drum?
There was an oil drum lying on its side at the scene of the crime.
But it's strange.
What's that?
If she wanted to escape, why didn't she just run the other way?
The other... Ah! The parking lot entrance.
That's right! It doesn't make any sense that she would run from behind the partition to the oil drums. Excellent. More mysteries.
I wish we could solve a few before finding more, though. So Miss Sky tried to run.
I'm sorry my sister is so suspicious, Mr. Wright.
Not as sorry as I am.
But she didn't do it. You have to believe me. B P poo P P P poo P.
He stabbed himself. He fell on his own knife. Miss Starr, I have to conclude that you have a personal grudge against Miss Lana Sky.
The witness is a former detective. The testimony is unmarred by personal bias. Well, who would have thought that you would be my knight in shining armor, prosecutor?
Sure she's not...
You...
Is you sure she's unbiased?
Together with the chief prosecutor, kicked me out 2 years ago.
Still sure she's unbiased?
Seems like it, yeah.
Well, Miss Starr, this is a fatal contradiction with your testimony. How do you explain this?
I don't know what you're talking about. Mess with me, and I'll make you cough it all up.
I like to cough.
It all up.
Let's look at the floor plans. You said you witnessed the crime from this point. However, if that's true, you couldn't have possibly have seen Miss Sky making that phone call.
A bit of Ace Attorney 101, alright? Every time there's a partition, there's always going to be somebody saying, I saw them through that partition. Every time, alright? Every time. Remember that, alright? Remember also right and left, alright? One stab wound, died instantaneously, alright? You gotta remember these things, and you can get through all these testimonies within fucking 10 seconds.
Why are you giving me help on this? I struggle a little bit, but it's not like terrible.
God, you're so terrible. You're awful.
I believe you see what I'm getting at.
Little baby boy needs some help, needs a bottle.
It's not like the people watching this are playing the game along with us. Unless... An emergency phone was on the back side of this partition. If indeed you were in B block, you couldn't have seen it!
What? What?
Free food! Every time you find a contradiction, she gives you free meals.
Order! Order! What is the meaning of this?
It's simple, Your Honor. She's not coughing up lunch. She's coughing up lies.
That's quite a claim, Mr. Wright. Perhaps you will allow me a question? Tell us exactly what lie this witness has told the court.
Here's where the counterattack begins. I can't afford to get this wrong. The witness lied about...
Okay, so what was the problem in the previous testimony?
I mean, it's the fact that she couldn't see or go to that phone, so I'd assume it's the order of events. This is upsetting, because you were very silent on it. Which means I'm wrong.
No!
She lied about the order of events. This guy used the emergency phone before the murder.
I see. I hadn't thought of that.
That took the wind out of her sail.
Mr. Wright, I hate to bother you while you're celebrating your victory, but why would anyone use the emergency phone before the murder?
Huh?
Just when you think he can't sink any lower, he amazes us. I applaud you, Mr. Wright. You ordered the orange peel lunchbox, right?
What in the Demogorgon was that?
I guess that teaches me to not get excited before the evidence. Oh, shucks.
One more try. One more try.
I see it in your eyes. You haven't learned your lesson, have you? Tell us exactly what lie this witness told the fucking court, you fucking penis?
Peter? You fucking Peter?
You fucking Peter?
The only thing that was not wrong is what she saw, because she couldn't see behind the partition. She can't see behind that partition.
But she was correct.
So it's where she saw it.
There you go.
Don't treat me like I'm stupid.
I mean,
played this game.
Look at the top right. I mean,
yeah, it's called having fun.
Oh.
You don't need a perfect case.
We're not supposed to have fun. We're supposed to find the truth.
It's pointless to have a perfect case. The fun stuff happens when you fail. Miss Sky tried to use the emergency phone, but it was out of order. What is significant about this fact? Nothing. Therefore, it would be pointless for Miss Star to lie about it.
Pointless to lie. I see.
But say the witness did actually see Miss Sky using the emergency phone. It would mean Miss Star witnessed the crime from a different location.
A different location? Now that's a pointless lie if I've ever heard one.
I object to your objection of my objection. Before you call my lie pointless, at least let me tell it. He's right.
Let me ask a question to our clever wordsmith, Mr. Wright. Just where was the witness when she saw the crime? All the testimony we've heard until now points in one direction. Simon Cowell.
Yeah. Alright, where's the place that she witnessed the crime?
The security room. This is the only place where she could have been. She was giving him a little handy, you know what I mean.
His name is Frank, not Handy.
I see Edgeworth does not know what I mean. Ironic for his name.
The security guard room.
Indeed, the security room in the underground parking lot is well positioned. It's built on the second floor so you can see the entire lot.
She would have been able to see the emergency phone from there. But why there? There are many other places where she could have seen the phone.
Not in this case, Your Honor. The witness, not being part of the prosecutor's office, couldn't park in any place. The only place where she could have seen the crime and the back of the partition is there.
Here.
There.
Anywhere.
I remember in your testimony you said, "You brought a lunch to your boyfriend in the security guard room." Yes?
Yes.
Well, Miss Star?
How many years have I been getting the better of men? You think that the tables could be turned? Today, a man has gotten the better of Angel Star.
I'm sorry, does that mean she used her good looks to make criminals confess?
Yeah.
You confess to me, I'll show you one booby. Make it both. Alright, you twisted my arm.
Order! Order, witness! What have you done? You used to be a detective. You should know better.
I'm not turning back. The guilty will be punished. And I'll do what I must to make sure justice prevails.
Guilty? She's talking about Miss Sky?
Mr. Wright, doesn't this strike you as odd? Why did Miss Star lie? It doesn't make sense.
Huh?
She could have just said she saw the crime from the security guard station. It wouldn't change anything. Exactly. This photograph tells all. It was the defendant who stabbed the victim. That truth still stands.
It still stands? I disagree, Mr. Edgeworth.
What?
A witness is found to be lying. They're guilty of perjury. She knows this. She wouldn't risk that without a good reason.
But she's stupid.
What?
I'm not the witness.
So, tell us what her reason was, Mr. Wright.
Huh? Me?
Who else?
Mr. Wright, let's review what we know. Beep, 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 beep.
Miss Starr witnessed the crime from the security guard station. But she lied and said she saw it from B block. Must make a vital difference, but change. Okay. She saw it from, so she said, what would change? What would,
So think about what she said.
Yep.
Specifically what she did. What did Angel Star do?
Yeah, it'd be a distance to the crime. Because she wouldn't have to climb over the fence. She just had to run downstairs real quick. Or jump out of the glass. Like a superhero. It changes the distance between her and the scene of the crime. Also why that barrel was knocked over, because of the direction that she moved.
My condolences, Mr. Wright, but one look at the floor plans, it is quite clear. The distance between the scene of the crime and the guard station is 30 feet. I don't see how that would change what she could see.
What she saw is not in question here. What matters is the time it would take her to reach the scene of the crime. Miss Starr, you witnessed the crime from the security guard station. Now how long did it take you to go from there to the scene of the crime where you arrested Miss Sky? Me.
Well, witness.
You.
Yes?
You ordered the squid wheels, right?
That looks disgusting. The quality of my lunches has gone from low to an inedible.
I was bringing a PB&J lunch with fresh boysenberry jam to my boyfriend.
Boysenberry for the boyfriend.
He wasn't in the station, so I waited. And I waited, and I waited, and I waited.
And then I hit him with the spoon again.
And again, and again. I witnessed the crime from the glass-walled station.
And then I tripped downstairs.
And then I fell. And then I hit my knee. Owies. And before I knew what I was doing, I found myself running towards the scene. But the door was locked. I couldn't open it.
So I had to run all the way back around.
Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. And the door was locked again. And I went all the way back. And that's why I had to go through the visitor's parking in B block.
It's quite a detour.
It probably took me at least 5 minutes to get to the scene of the crime.
5 minutes!
Hubba 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 hubba.
This changes things considerably.
But it was that woman over there in the defender's chair who stabbed him. I know it. I have photographic evidence. I swear
You
it.
have
I swear it on my finest plastic spork.
You have photographic evidence after 5 minutes of the crime happening, though.
Yes.
Anything could have happened in those 5 minutes. It could have actually been self-defense. It could have, he fell on his knife. Get out of this courtroom!
You have a point, and the spork is a wonderful invention.
Would you like another caviar lunch?
Yes!
Uh-oh.
Mr. Wright, you have to do something!
Do I have any evidence to stop this? Well, if I don't, I'd be in trouble anyway. Raise an objection! 5 minutes between the witnessing of the murder and the arrest. Think about it. You could make pasta in that amount of time. If you like it al dente.
I've got lunchboxes that tie pasta into knots, Lucky.
A 5-minute blank. Isn't that strange?
Strange.
you were a criminal, what would you do with 5 minutes, Your Honor? I'd get the fuck out of there.
Well, I guess I'd flee the sea. Hey! Don't get the wrong idea. I didn't kill anyone. Listen, I would never.
But you have the instincts of a killer.
Oh, no, I don't.
You would run, but this time was different. I don't have a killer instinct.
Okay, I did it in 89.
Miss Sky dawdled at the scene of the crime. She even had her picture taken. No true criminal would act this way. It's inconceivable.
Yeah.
Free lunches. Yahtzee.
Well then, it seems we've come to the end of this testimony. The witness has a grudge against the defendant and a blank in her testimony and in her gun. Mr. Edgeworth, is the next witness ready to go?
Unfortunately, I appear to have overestimated this witness on account of her professional history. We did it! We screwed that Karen shut, Mr. Wright.
We screwed that Karen over.
He is basically Karen, yeah.
That was too close.
I'm afraid that the cuff-up queen has been dethroned. And with that, court is adjourned. Hold it.
Mr. Edgeworth, you ordered the squid wheels, right?
She just gets really manly.
Hold a second. What did you say to me, you little shit? That's the one she tried to foist off on me.
I prefer not to take the defense team's leftovers. Anything else to say? I might be able to save you. I have decisive evidence.
What was that? I couldn't hear. Speak up.
This is another one of her trick lunchboxes.
My apologies, but I was face deep.
Yes?
Get that man out of my courtroom.
I'm sorry.
Pain.
You left the window open last night.
What? We're not seeing each other?
Oh, okay. Because we're in public, you don't want to announce our relationship.
Get him! Bailiff, get him out!
No! No!
Bring him to my office. I'll speak to him later.
Ooh.
With bailiffs in there. I need witnesses. My apologies, but we have no further questions to ask you, Miss Starr.
Is this your jumbo lunchbox?
Woohoo! A triple decker! Out of deference,
Deferred?
yeah! To the witness's determination, I'll allow one more testimony. Let's hear about this decisive evidence.
Like the Lunchland motto says, you won't be disappointed.
Opens it.
Oh, I'm disappointed.
What's she going to pull out of her lunchbox this time?
Well, I would think it would be the next episode.
That was very upsetting.
The second one is this episode. It makes it make like scrapping about it all the time. Which is
Not every day with that type of attitude.
bye.